Hey, yo, it's December already? Read on Wiki starts right now.
Get therapy.
I'm not reading.
Get therapy.
What's up, Wikimaniacs, and welcome back to another episode of Reddit on Wiki. I'm your host today, the Punny Pinoy John, and I am joined, by usual, by the handsome duo of Josh and Sean. What's up, boys?
Hey, yo.
Hey,
Sounds
yo,
like a
you boys
fly.
looking good today.
See, all hats everywhere at once.
All hats today.
Only one is available, though. I
Uh-oh.
read it on wikishop.com.
Oh, what a plug. What a
Who
professional.
knows? Maybe I'll make all three available. I'll bootleg some Noah Khan and San Diego Padre.
I don't know if we want to fuck with the NFL, but
No, let's not do that. But if you want to give your boys a gift, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and follow us everywhere on social media. Help us get to 32 million subscribers before the year ends.
Wow,
Come on
we
now,
really
people.
never want to hit our goals.
And if you want to give your loved ones or yourself a gift, consider being a patron or a YouTube member so you get access to ad-free episodes, bonus stories, early release, exclusive live streams, and so much, much more. Sign up on YouTube today or at patreon.com/cultivate podcast network, or head on over to redditonwikishop.com to rock our merch. It is December 2nd, people, so you have about 2 to 3 days, give or take, before the every merch everywhere all at once sale ends. But boys, ready to hop on today's episode?
I will say, you saying early release in that voice got me bricked up, and I don't know
I did
why.
do that on purpose, buddy. Early release.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Not too early, though.
Permission to do what I do every time. That's crazy.
Permission granted, baby boy. Be you. Keep being you.
wow.
I can't help it, unfortunately.
I did want to just announce that Patreon is now allowing members to gift other memberships to other people.
Ooh.
So if you are looking for, if you it's not in your budget to pay for the Patreon, we get that. Totally understandable. You could ask for it for the holidays. Say, hey, I want Reddit on Wiki membership, and people can gift that to you now. So that's
There's
an
an
option.
inside joke from one of the patrons. Yeah, Tanner, stop fucking sharing.
No more sharing.
Yeah, no more sharing, Tanner. You know who we're talking about.
But yeah, that is an option now if you would like to.
Inside joke for 5 people is crazy.
Wild.
If you want to have inside jokes with us, be a $10 patron. We do send custom cameos.
That's
and
It's true.
they do be fun. They do be fun.
They are.
All right. So, boys, ready to hop on today's episode?
Let's do it.
All right. First story of today. We're starting out with a goat, baby. And this one is cross-posted by First Person Energy.
Goat.
And this one is from r/traumatize them back.
Oh, baby.
Oh, okay.
This is going to be starting one of my favorite subreddits.
Yeah, I
They
can
do
already
have some
tell.
funny shit.
It's like a petty revenge.
yeah,
alternate.
yeah.
It's right in John's wheelhouse.
I do love traumatizing people back. So, all right. The title of this story is My Late Husband is the Strong Silent Type.
Okay.
Because he's dead. I'm
Dark, Sean.
I'm
Oh my
I
God.
thought that's where
Not-
this
Where
Oh
my
my
head
God.
was. The not even a joke. That was a real ass question, and I apologize. Wasn't even trying to roast.
Damn.
Just-
Maybe they are roasted because they're cremated.
Whoa,
Ooh,
I'm
sick
so
burn.
sorry.
All right.
man.
All right. Let's go.
Sick burn is crazy.
I need a pun button to go off when John says something out of his pocket, but all I have is the law, the Law and Order.
Sean might have to say decorum.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? We're not too far off the par here. All right. So this happened a few years back. At the time, I had been widowed for about 2 years.
Oh,
Sean is right.
wild.
And I'm also right because I missed my late hubby a lot. So I kept his urn of ashes on my bedside table.
Oh God.
I take back everything I said. I apologize to both of you.
Thank you.
As I was in the habit of talking to him about my day and saying goodnight at bedtime. One day, the doorbell rang. Being the socially anxious gal that I am, I ignored it. I do the same. I don't answer any doorbells.
Yeah, I look at my camera, and if it's someone I don't know, they can just.
Yeah. I've had enough bell guys show up trying to sell me internet. I'm like, I switched from you guys. I don't want you right now. Please leave me alone.
Thank you for the reminder that I'm still paying for 2 internet bills. I need to cancel that.
Holy crap.
I'm an idiot.
Okay.
But they rang the bell 3 more goddamn times, and I became more annoyed than anxious and answered the door.
That's insane.
To my great displeasure, there was a man at my door who wanted to talk about the state of the gutters and how desperately they needed to be cleaned. How convenient was it that this man was willing to do the vile job of cleaning the gutters for $250?
So generous. I actually don't know what they cost to
Quite a bit.
gutters. Yeah.
If they accumulate. I had to get gutters built up because only half of my house had it, and I'm like, this is not going to be good once it starts raining hard here. So that was too much. It should be noted that I lived in a row home at the time and had one eaves through that went across the edge of the roof, connecting all the units and one downspout. I tried to politely decline, but he kept up with his pre-programmed speech and asserted he needed to speak with the man of the house.
Oh,
shit.
you're asking for a lot of money for this pretty small project, and you're being misogynistic.
Mm.
Yeah, you're not getting
Not
that business.
great.
You fucking idiot.
I see where this is going, and I like it.
Yeah, so do I.
And to make that point, cue the malicious compliance. I leaned back into the house and called my husband's name. Mark, I shouted. There's a guy at the door. Wants to talk about cleaning our gutters. Obviously, my spouse did not respond.
Wonder why.
I shouted louder for my spouse, but again, he didn't hear me or come to the door.
That's crazy.
Apologizing to the man, I told him I would just run upstairs to get the man of the house. As promised, I did run upstairs and grab Mark. I returned to the front door, lamenting out loud to Mark how frustrating it is when he doesn't respond to me, calling for him, and I hate it when he gives me the silent treatment. Here's the man of the house, I exclaimed, holding the urn up like a game show prize. I continued my lament to the salesman that although Mark is a great listener, I'm saddened by how uninvolved he is with our children. He's the strong silent type, I concluded to the now silent bug-eyed salesman. And I decided to increase my dedication to the bit as well as the sales jerk's sexist discomfort and allowed my tears to flow unfettered. Unfettered? Is that the word?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Normally, I loathe crying in front of strangers, but the grief of losing the father of my children, mixed with the rage at the arrogance and dismissive sexism, led to me sob screaming how much I hated my current life. These were tears of so much ugly crying, snot sobbing noises coming out of me. I didn't even realize he had made a mad dash to get away from this hysterical woman and back to his truck.
Oh, what a bitch. Stay
What
for the
a-
whole show, you fucking idiot. You caused this.
It was cathartic for me to release those pent-up emotions, and sometimes I still laugh about it with Mark. I know he definitely would be howling with laughter as he was always quite a jokester.
Well, I mean, I love the petty revenge. Does seem like she has to maybe go to therapy.
It does seem like this was a joke that ended up being quite healing for you, and maybe that is a sign that you should talk to somebody about the,
What you're going
repressed
through.
feelings. Maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, love a roast. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Love, God damn it. Love
This button's gonna stay.
I love
petty
this fucking
revenge. Love getting on that guy's nerves and scaring him. So that's good. This is going to help us, work on our vocabulary, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely deserved it for being a misogynistic prick. And yeah, I mean, like I said, for yourself, I think therapy might be a good idea just because it seemed like it got real for you during that, payback moment. And that might be something you want to work through. Again, I don't think you did anything wrong and I wish you more power. But just something to think about going forward.
I was imagining she was just going to stick out the urn, not even have her be a part of it, just like stick out the urn and just have him talk to the urn. But also, good for you for getting out some feelings that you needed to get out.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark's the asshole in this situation for not responding.
Holy moly.
I don't even want to press the button.
No, don't press it. Leave it.
My
Either
God.
lower score cupcake, lower score 5396 commented, "So, what does your husband do?" And they responded, "Oh, not much of anything these days." To which a solid lower score Dune responded, "He just kind of sits there and collects dust, really."
Oh my God.
Okay, so the comments were just as unhinged as we were.
Yeah, I love dark jokes. They're the best.
My God.
People cope with their own things their own way.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, the more vile, the better for me, please. I get a lot of joy from that.
At a loss for words.
Good. All right.
Asshole is crazy.
The next story. This one is posted by worried mid-score boyfriend, and this one was posted from r/relationships. The title is, "My girlfriend wants to go on out-of-state camping trip alone with another guy."
Just one on one.
What if it's like her dad or something like that? There's that potential. I'm just saying
there is.
It doesn't sound like it's going that route, but there's that potential. I'll leave that door open.
Okay. All right. And just for like context, the OP is 24 male, girlfriend is a 21 female, and then the other guy in question is 24 male. So just putting it out because it's on the title.
Unlikely to be her dad then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless she called her daddy before. We don't know. Anyways, so
this is a John episode for sure.
So I love, and this is funny because it actually relates to this. So I love my girlfriend and I do trust her, but every girlfriend I've ever had has cheated on me, and I'm terribly insecure about her spending alone time with someone in a situation like this. We have been together for 2 years now. I met her my senior year of college because my college town was her hometown. I moved up to her college town to live with her after I graduated, and I found a great job there. For months, she's been talking about us going to Maine to camp for a week for vacation with one of her best friends. Let's call him Kyle and his girlfriend.
He drinks energy drinks, but only through his butt.
So the girlfriend will be there at least.
Yes. I've never met Kyle since she lives 2 hours from him now, but she was very open with me when I asked her about him. He's been one of her closest friends since middle school. They liked each other for a bit throughout the years, and the summer after she graduated high school, she had sex with him, but it never went anywhere because she was going to school and he ended up meeting this girl, and they put his current girlfriend, let's call her Anna, soon after. And they've been together since. So I was all down for a couple's trip. Well, recently, I found out the week they had planned on being sent out of state for business and can't take off. And now, Kyle's girlfriend can't go either, so it will be just my girlfriend and Kyle on the coast of Maine, camping and spending alone time together for a week.
A week?
A week.
A week is wild.
That's intense.
I mean, even a week in a...
Nah.
Yeah. You bastard. You bastard.
Oh, sorry. I asked her what Anna thinks of
You're
this.
not.
Wait, let me read. Look. I asked her what Anna thinks of this, and she said she's only met Anna a few times, that she knows my girlfriend and her boyfriend had a sexual past, but that it's okay because she trusts him and knows how excited my girlfriend and him are to catch up and see a new state. I want to tell her no, but I can't be that boyfriend. It's the only week she has off between summer and fall semester, and she said her friend Kyle is moving to North Carolina for a new job in September, so she will probably not see him for a long, long time.
Perfect to just.
It wouldn't be fair to expect her to stay home her only week off from school because I have to go on a business trip either, but I can't help but feel it's unfair to me to run off with an old flame / current friend. It just seems really off to me. I've never met this guy. I don't know his motives, and he's going to be sleeping with my girlfriend and our dog in a tent for a week. How do I tell her I don't want to go alone together without being a controlling douche fuck? Thanks, Reddit.
I think you're young. She's young. You know, if something happens, then it's, you know,
what a way to
break
look
up.
at it.
You know what I mean?
Ultimately, I do agree with that sentiment. Like, has she ever given you a reason to distrust her?
Yeah, it sounds like it's other people that are in,
Yeah.
have given you the reason to distrust, not particularly her. So really, it's hard to just be like, I think you could voice your concerns.
Yes.
And then she can make that decision on herself. I don't think you should say you shouldn't go or we're done, but I think you should say, my insecurities, because literally every other relationship I've been cheated on. So I am worried. A week is, intense. But, if you decided just like a weekend, or I don't know. My insecurities. This is how I'm feeling. You could do what you want to do. I'm trusting you, but just know that, this is where my head is at. I think that would be fair to say. I think, we're always pro voicing your concerns, communicating how you're feeling, being truthful, and, laying down boundaries when you feel like boundaries are needed. And then, your girlfriend can make any decision that she wants from there. I will say I would be also concerned, but also, if they haven't given you any reason to distrust, you should trust them.
Yeah.
They're adults. They can make their own decision.
I agree with you. I do think it's a situation where it's weird that they're not trying to reschedule so that everyone can go. If like 50% of the party can't go,
it seems
maybe
like
we
that would
cancel
be
the
a good
party.
Yeah. It sounds like he's moving though, and this is the
he
only
moving,
week,
and it's his only. It's her only break
Right.
from college
school.
at the moment. Yeah.
Right. Which is fair as well. I'm just saying like that's something where it's like, okay, well, maybe we can reschedule, go for a couple
or like
days.
in the summer or something, right? Like we
Yeah.
could visit you in North Carolina, double dated up in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Or, we could meet somewhere else to camp all together in the summer.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm with you. It's weird, I think.
So I do think it's strange that they haven't rescheduled. Again, I'm with Sean. Voice your concerns. Say, hey, I just want you to know where my head's at. And then you kind of just gotta, you can't be controlling over your partner. You can voice your concerns, and then she can do with that information what she will. And then you go from there depending on what happens.
Yeah. And there are some like comments that OP responded to, as well as an update that I can provide you guys. So Monterone 87TD posted, commented, tell her you don't feel comfortable with her going alone with a guy. Make it about your feelings, not about her cheating, which is valid. Which then OP, worried mid-score boyfriend. I tried this at first. She just brushed it off, kinda. They put, worried boyfriend, I've known him most of my life. We've had these plans for months. Just because you can't come suddenly doesn't mean I should rearrange my plans for my only week off for you when you won't be around anyways. I want to go to a hike and see the cliffs and coast, not to elope with a good friend. So then that same commenter put, well, do you feel you can trust her to not do anything? Will they be sleeping in separate tents? Then OP responded, no, they would be sharing her 2-person tent. It's a backpacking trip, so obviously all of their food, clothing, cooking supplies, water filtration system, gear, everything will be carried in backpacks for that week. As a fellow backpacker, I do understand that it's a ridiculous idea to ask them to both buy compact single-person tents, they put because it's expensive, and even more ridiculous to ask them to each bring their own 2-person tents. I trust her not to cheat, but something about spending a week alone in the forest with someone is just so intimate, and that scares the fucking hell out of me. The trip alone just feels like emotional cheating. Maybe I'm overreacting.
I don't think it's inherently emotional cheating.
Yeah.
I think that is you now projecting your own insecurities, which is, a fair based on what you've gone through, but you can't project that on her and him. It is also fair because they have slept together in the past, but knowing that they are both in happy, healthy relationships, I imagine that this would not be a thing.
Yeah.
So,
and his current girlfriend too is aware of the situation, did a full endorsement saying like, hey, I'm aware of what happened to them in the past, and I think it's okay that they go together. So that probably she kind of in a way helped him alleviate his mind a little bit. But there is an update, and I am so glad that you pointed that out, Josh, because there will be part of the story where you pretty much said what OP is going to say. So before we go on to the update, we're going to do a quick trigger warning. There will be mentions of death, and there's going to be a mention of suicide in the next story. So if the update's not something you're comfortable with, there are going to be timestamps on the show notes. Please feel free to skip to the next story. The update goes as this. So I was overwhelmed with responses. Thanks everyone for the help. And I decided to talk to her about my feelings and see how she dealt with them. telling her she needed to re-expand it to a group trip and not share a tent alone with him. And here's how it went. Sean, there's your boundaries that he put, and luckily he was able to communicate that. So she comes home, and she's so excited to show me the new climbing gear she bought for their trip. Great. I tell her we need to talk about the trip and Kyle, and she looks a little worried. I preface the conversation asking more about her and Kyle's relationship. From what I gathered, they're closer than I thought. Yet this actually reassures me. She was his rock when his dad died, and he was hers when her best friend took his life. He has a place in her heart as a lifelong friend that no one else can fill, and I have one in hers as a lifelong partner that no one else can either. I have to suck it up and live with that. She seems to really like Anna, and Kyle apparently really likes me from their talks. They're happy the others found a great person and realized they weren't compatible anyways and only tried it out of a loneliness thing after both losing important people. I can live with that. So I tell her I know it's impractical, but I don't want her sharing a tent with him. She says that's fine, completely reasonable of me to ask, and just wants to make me feel comfortable. She says she can try and pack lighter in other aspects. Cool. So then I tell her the trip itself makes me uncomfortable. And why doesn't she invite someone else? She mentions that's okay. She can invite her friend Allie, who just got back from Colorado. They can just bring the 4-person tent again for them 3 and the dog if Allie wants to go. Oh, but Allie's a very hot, very promiscuous lesbian and was my girlfriend's first sexual encounter. Nope. Anyone else? Oh, yeah, her friend Taylor maybe, but she'd be kind of a drag. Oh, that's okay. You used to hook up with Taylor too. Like, damn, everyone just involved.
Do you
in
have
this
friends that
area.
you haven't hooked up with?
And this is the point that you kind of mentioned earlier too, Josh. And OP wrote, at this point, I realize it boils down to the fact that I am jealous and I don't want my girlfriend alone with anyone who is attracted to her. Not because I don't trust her, but because I have this fucked up mentality that I have to prove myself and be there to claim her or something. If I want this relationship to work, I have to force myself to get over that. This trip will help. So I tell her that, and she insists she doesn't have to go if I'm really that insecure. We can take baby steps and work on it together. No, I say, I want you to go. Enjoy your only week off. You earned it. So we decided we are going to drive down there next weekend to Kyle's. We're going to all hang out and probably meet, eat some dinner, drink some beers, play Cards Against Humanity. Then Kyle and I will go out to the bars and get to know each other, and her and Anna will do whatever they want to do. If I don't like him, I tell her and we will call it off. I think this will really help and make me comfortable. In the end, my girlfriend's sexual past makes me uncomfortable, but I'm sure mine from my frat days scares the shit out of her too. But just like I only have eyes for her now, I know it's the same. She's still not going to sleep in the same tent as him and said she can probably rent some single tents from the University Outdoor Club. Way cool. You guys were all divided on whether to ask her to stay or let her go, but I think we found a good compromise to make us all feel better and still let her go.
Hell yeah. There's the communication. That's what
Compromise.
we look
Love it.
for. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I mean, I love that she was willing to work with you on it and invite someone else, or at least be open to staying in a different tent. Like, those are like good compromises to make. And then, as well as meeting him before she goes on the trip alone with him. I think this couldn't have gone much better than it did. So, kudos for you. And I hope you begin to work on yourself and, get some therapy maybe to help you, realize where your, mistrust comes from.
Pretty much everything Josh and I said, communication, setting boundaries, talking about it, seemed to really help. And it, I'm sure it eases your mind knowing that your partner was so willing to be like, yeah, of course, I want to make you feel comfortable. I came together with a plan. Through this talk, you realize, it is kind of a you thing, because she kept bringing up friends and you were like, well, maybe not that friend. And then you're like, actually, maybe it's just me, because all of your friends seem like a no. So it's probably not, who goes or something like that. It's kind of just me. So it's good that you guys came to, some resolutions and some compromises together. And, for me, if I was OP, I'd feel really relieved to know that, she was so willing to, find a way to make, you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was to cancel the entire trip, you never brought that up. She brought that up as a thing. And then you came to the realization yourself that, you would hate if she had to cancel. So, it's all around good. Like Josh said, it really couldn't have gone any better than this.
Yeah, completely agree with you, boys. And it's always heartwarming to see partners actually become partners with each other, right? Like
Yes.
they're really taking the time to understand like, hey, I do have some insecurities. This is what I feel. And someone for actually to sit down, have an adult conversation to say, hey, I feel this type of way. And for the other partner to just be like, all right, I want to hear you out. Lay everything out to me. I want to hear what you're feeling, bad about. Let's find a compromise together and let's see where things go. I absolutely love that. The partner and the girlfriend, like having these ideas like, hey, what about this? What about that? And involving you in the process and only for you to come to like a self-realization. I feel like you took a long look in the mirror and you actually, the reflection of yourself is like, you know what? Maybe it's me. And the self-realization is a good thing because I feel now you matured as a person. I feel like your relationship with your girlfriend right now just became much better because I feel like that's like, like a weighted.
They're building blocks for a good
Yes.
relationship.
It's something that was weighing you down for a long time and those insecurities and perfectly valid. Like your experiences are perfectly valid. Majority of your partners has done something heinous to you, unfortunately. And you find yourself a good one. You find yourself a great partner, hold on to her and vice versa to the girlfriend too. Like, for a guy to be able to disclose how they feel and do it in a mature way instead of acting controlling and manipulative
Petty,
and all that. So
yeah.
all around good outcome. And hopefully it seemed like they had a good time in the trip. And I feel like their relationship's going to get better from here.
I will also say this is like a pivotal moment in your like life, like your early mid 20s, like you're just coming out of the college scene. Like a lot of things are going to change. And this is like a good, start to opening communications that you're going to change a lot in the next 5 years. And being able to communicate and talk with your partner is always a good thing, especially through those times.
Love it. Love it. All right, boys, ready to hop on to the third story.
Let's do it.
All right. Third story is from normal lower score emotion, lower score 5470. And this one's coming from Sean's favorite subreddit. Today I fucked up.
Oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
All right. The title of this story is Today I Fucked Up by Drugging the Bartender and Ruining a Wedding.
What the fuck?
Yeah. How it
Sounds like a
that's
crime.
fuck up.
All right. Well, story goes as this. Yeah, so this fuck up happened the summer before COVID, but I think the statute of limitations are up so I can tell this story. My wife and I went to her colleague's wedding. I'm not a huge drinker and I didn't really know anyone. So my plan was to grab some sort of cold, refreshing beverage, find somewhere to post up, and nurse it while I really got stoned and did some people watching. Which leads me to my drugs. On the way to the wedding, I stopped at a dispensary and picked up a reusable vape pen thing. I'm a pretty traditional smoker. I go to a place and buy an eighth and smoke it in my ancient bowl over the course of the next month or two. I'd never had a pen before. And I was just like, I'm going to a wedding and want something that won't make me sleepy, and the young woman at the counter handed me the thing. As my wife was driving us over, I tried it out. I also don't smoke very much at any one time and have a hard time with anything like joints or bongs, etc. When I do smoke these things, they hit way too hard and I cough like crazy and hate myself. So,
All sounds like a terrible decision.
To go
I
to a
gotta
wedding,
say.
you don't know anyone to do
I
this?
don't know anybody at this wedding. I'm going to get stoned. I do not react well to getting stoned.
someone sits on your table. Hi. Yes. So I took a very small hit, noticed it really hard, and thought, well, that's because you think everything hits too hard. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm at the reception, standing in line to grab some drinks from the bartender, and notice the tip jar. Realizing I don't have any cash, I'm like, Sean's gonna love this. Dude, do you have Venmo or something?
Hell
Didn't you
yeah.
do this at the wedding?
Yeah. And they're like,
Oh,
no, you dumbass who just explained
Canada.
it. We're in Canada, you idiot. Right.
And he's like, don't even worry about it, man. It's no big deal. But I'm a service industry vet, so I wanted to find a way to tip him because I know it's going to be a long night and a lot of people won't tip. So I'm like, all right, man. Well, if my wife has some cash, I'll double back over. But in the meantime, if you party, and I show him the pen, he's like, oh, for real? Hell yeah, dude. Then proceeds to take an enormous puff on this thing.
Jesus.
Within seconds, that's the wrong dab that he did. Within seconds, he was doubling over and coughing uncontrollably. It was incredibly loud, and in under a minute, he was down on his hands and knees behind the bar, puking in the grass.
Oh my
Still,
God.
kind of no harm, no foul.
No,
What do you mean?
definitely harm.
I mean, definitely
foul.
on the bartender for taking it while he's on
On the job.
the job.
But also dumb of you to offer.
Until he gets up and puts all of his weight onto a tumbler glass that was sitting on the table he used to help himself up, cutting his hand open so badly.
Jeez.
And then something very interesting happened. Something that had never happened before. I started vomiting at the sight of the blood.
Oh.
Naturally, this is pretty disruptive, and the groom, who just happened to be nearby, comes over to see what's going on and fucking faints the second he sees this guy's hand.
No.
Smashing his head on the bar table on the way down, his face taking a tablecloth and everything on the table down with him.
Holy shit.
Totally unmitigated disaster. Both of them had to go to the hospital, and the bride was understandably upset and screaming at the caterers. So I decided, well, it's been a good life, and began to march over to explain to her what happened, when out of her mouth comes a series of very specific slurs directed at the owner of the catering company. I didn't get a single word out of my mouth before she said, "Fucking sue me," turned on her heel and told her people to just round their shit up and go. Cue major shitstorm. Everyone is fighting with everyone, and almost all of the guests left. I told my wife what happened on the drive home, and she said I should call the catering company and apologize, which I did. And the owner laughed for about 30 seconds on the phone before saying, well, whatever, fuck that bitch. So yeah, too long didn't read, don't smoke a lot of weed, got the bartender way too high, causing a chain reaction of vomiting and fainting that led to a racist outburst, ending a wedding.
This is one of the few stories where I'm just like, I hate everyone in this story. That's fucking crazy. I would be so mad if that was my wedding. Not racial slur mad. That's fucking insane. That's fucking insane.
Sean is like
dumbfounded.
This is an insane fucking story. I mean, just right off the bat, I don't drink. I barely smoke. And I don't react well to when I am high. Let me get incredibly high. Also, you know, if you wanted to get high, you should have just got high the way you normally get high. You chose a new way to get high.
Yeah.
You chose a terrible place to experiment this, ruining the wedding. But then at the end of the day, I'm glad the wedding got ruined because the bride is a racist, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, I was so close to just being like, this guy is fucking terrible. He ruined their day. And then boom, she's racist. I guess that's fine then. I guess it's good she had a bad wedding because she's a bad person.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have called to confess to the caterers, but also maybe I would have if I saw them, you know, take a hate crime essentially for my own actions. Yeah, actually, I take that back. I would apologize to them. But I'm glad that he got a laugh out of it.
I guess.
If I was the partner of this OP, I would quit working because it's a colleague's wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Or I just would not be friends. Is her colleague the racist bride or the man marrying a racist? Which probably means also racist.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know. I maybe not quit, but also just don't be friends with him, I guess. Yeah.
Dude, the fainting and dragging everything else is
It's
fucking
hilarious.
Ah, shit.
Like you can't write a better, comedy scene, really.
Yeah. It's just
Oh
a
my God.
chaotic event. Crazy.
All right, moving on to the next story. This one is posted by Deleted, unfortunately. And this one is from r/relationship advice. The title of this story is, my friend and I have a YouTube channel together. People think I'm the ugly one.
Damn it, it's me.
Nope, you're all
Definitely not
handsome.
you. Definitely
no.
not
Are
you.
you kidding me? All
What?
you motherfuckers are handsome.
I only see comments
I
about
will
John.
say, if you look at the most recent comments on who people are objectifying, it's all John.
yeah,
Hey, shut
That's
up.
what I'm
It's
saying.
all
Don't.
John.
They're gonna die. Please don't stop
Well,
commenting.
I'm
that
not
shit.
going to lie to the people.
Yeah, it's
Don't.
the truth.
Please
All the objectifying comments as of the last couple of months have been John.
bring it back to Sean, please.
The boxing is good.
Oh.
It's doing wonders for you. Unfortunately for the YouTube commenters, they will die. But you
It
know,
ain't gonna be
it
for
must
me.
be said.
My wife's
It
gonna
must be
find you. God. All right. Well, the story goes as this. We're both 18 plus. Our channel has just under 10,000 subs. I'm calling my friend Sarah, which is not her real name, and I'm being purposely vague. I always knew that I wasn't the pretty one. We've been friends since we were really young, and I've seen her go from awkward kid to really, really pretty. In school, people always ask her out and they do extra stuff for her that she never seemed to notice. I used to be jealous, but we've talked about how it felt back then, and I have a boyfriend who makes me feel beautiful now, etc., and I thought I was over it. Recently, since we gained more subscribers, people have been making comments about how sad it must be to be the ugly one. I hate that.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Some of them say my name, but most of them talk about my features that make it obvious that they're talking about me. I've even had people privately messaging me to suggest plastic surgery.
that's fucking
fuck?
insane.
Oh my God. It's hurting my relationship with Sarah. And I know she's prettier than me, but until this, it wasn't really a problem anymore. Being compared to her constantly is hurtful. She suggested that we make both of our Instagrams private and make a joint public one so that we can better control the new hatred towards me. I'm worried that will just bring up questions and I'll have to explain that I'm so hurt by people saying this stuff and it's damaging my friendship so much that we both had to be private. She even suggested that if it gets too bad, we should phase out the channel because it isn't worth becoming bitter towards each other because of YouTube.
Good friend.
I just want to
Yeah.
know how to feel better about being friends with her. Sarah has never made me feel ugly. It's always been other people. She's the kindest person I know, and it makes me even more annoyed because I know she doesn't have control over this any more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, this is on r/relationship advice, was it?
Mhm.
I mean, the issue is not with your relationship with your friend. She sounds like a great supportive friend who people unfortunately just compare you to all the time, and like just based on your looks, which I will say is crazy how often you see that, especially like towards women.
Yeah, I was gonna
like-
say, as male content creators, not once have we ever been like compared to in that way, which
No.
is it's terrible to hear that happens.
It's
Yeah.
it's crazy like that, and like TikTok is terrible for it. You'll see like a woman content creator like create something that's actually of substance, that's like a good discussion point. I'll open up the comments to see like what the discussion is. It'll be like, oh, cute top. And it's like, okay, well, that has nothing to do.
Yeah.
It's like thousands of likes. I'm like, okay, well, that has nothing to do with the fucking conversation. Why is that what we're focusing on here? It's just like, it's such a disgusting part of society where it's just like, we always have to comment on what, and this is mostly
Somebody's
towards women,
appearance.
like what they look like. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. Like, if they're good people making good comments, making good content, that's all you should care about. It should not go beyond that. It's crazy. I know we joked about it with John getting a lot of comments. I don't care. Like, I will also say, sometimes it gets to the point where you just have to stop reading comments as well, and just focus on what's making you happy. The DMs is crazy. That's insane.
That's wild.
That's a level of just block the fuck out of them. I don't give a fuck. People are bringing you hate that you don't deserve that. You got to either stop doing the online stuff or block it out somehow. Cause we get sometimes, there's a video, we have a bad take and we fucking hear it. And, I'll know early on, I'll be like, oh, I'm not reading the comments of this video today. And just for my own mental health. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sure, they might be valid comments. Some go beyond just being a valid comment into the point of hatefulness. And you just, for your own mental health, your own happiness, you cannot listen to that shit because they're just sad people who are probably going through something in their own lives. And I feel sorry for them. but it also doesn't make what they're doing okay.
Yeah, it doesn't give them an excuse to fucking
No.
go ham and get personal. I will say there's nothing wrong with going private. I'm private on Instagram. I think on most social media. As soon as we start getting like a lot of like, comments or whatever, not necessarily that any of them are bad that made me go private, but I was like, am I comfortable with, this many people?
Yeah. That's fair.
So I just went private out of my own thing. And then also because like Nate and I were talking about kids soon, and I'm like, all right, well, I should probably put a cap on this if and when, if we ever do have kids.
Mhm.
I'm not going to want a bunch of strangers following me. So yeah, like I think going private is definitely fine. So that's a good thing that she suggested. It sounds like Sarah all around is a good friend.
Yep.
The fact that she's even being willing to be like, the YouTube thing is fun. Like, and if it's not fun, we could just end it. Cause I don't want you to be, upset
Jeopardize her
or getting
friendship,
hit. Yeah.
basically.
I'd
She's
rather
like-
just be friends without the YouTube than have the YouTube. So
Exactly.
like Sarah's a really good friend. It does seem like what Josh said, it's sometimes you just got to realize, okay, I don't need to read every comment. And especially if the DM's wild, I don't even have to read all the DMs, especially once you become private. If they're not following you already, you're not really going to see it unless you go to like the requests, but you could just choose not to do that. And yeah, you gotta, just because you are making content doesn't mean that you owe
Your life.
followers every personal detail. You know what I mean? So I think it's definitely fine to go private. I think it's definitely fine to stop reading comments, and definitely fine to just stop in general if it's affecting the friendship. So yeah, this sucks that that's happening. Again, just another notch in why it's so much harder to be a woman than a male, and it sucks and it's not equal. And yeah, it's terrible.
No, I completely agree. And I remember being on vacation and seeing the comment, and bringing this back to, and y'all lucky I wasn't there. I was going to blow a gasket in that episode about like the Judges episode.
Oh.
And that shit pissed me off
Yeah.
so fucking much. And the fact that people, and again, going back to like it's harder for women. Like when people don't even address her by her name, when it's been all over, like, the stories, that shit pissed me off more than anything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, you can't even like, cool. Like it's a take you don't agree with. Shut the fuck up. Like, you don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
Guys, I was gonna go to fuck off on that. Luckily,
Yeah.
Sean did the amicable thing, because boy, I was like, Sean, please do this for me, because otherwise I'll get flamed for this. And I completely agree with you guys too. Like, I'm public on Instagram. However, most of my messages are, I don't allow like DMs sometimes. Like I don't even check the request, because like you guys mentioned, just because you're a content creator, there's parts of life that you want to share with people, but at the end of the day, you're still an individual. Like your privacy and what you feel that you want to is my consent to the world, is saying like, hey, I'm letting you see this part of me, but everything else is like, it's in my privacy. It's when I want to share it. It's when y'all can see it type of shit. So, and I agree with you guys. It seems like Sarah is a great friend in this situation. And this is what I don't like about social media nowadays. Yes, we have a show that you do form a lot of opinions in, but we've always prefaced, and we're not always going to get it right. Okay. So, but it's always like, it's always the loudest when y'all, when I don't know, I'm going to say y'all, but when some people feel some type of way about it. But 99% of the time you could be right, but that little 1% is when they flame you to bits.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, where's that energy when y'all fucking with sometimes? So I do hate that. Like, sometimes people can hide behind a screen, hide behind a screen name. And it's like, dude, if you're going through some shit, why are you going to drag other people along with it?
Yeah.
And that's messed up. So I feel like some people can do better. And I've always been taught as a growing up, like if you have nothing nice to say, just don't say anything. Like, shutting up is, a good price for
Or
a lot
just
of people.
say it with your chest. You know what I mean? Because we definitely say some mean stuff. We definitely don't say some not nice stuff, but our face is out there. We're not hiding behind anything.
True.
So,
True.
I will say 99.99% of our comments are nice. So like it's we do notice the 1% because it sucks and it hurts.
They're usually the most unhinged comment. You're just like, wow, that's going to stick in my mind for a while. And then you're just like,
You just got to know when to shut it off.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, the internet's a horrible place, can be a great place. Yeah.
That's how we found each other, guys.
How we found each other. Exactly.
Yeah. And like Sean said, 99.99% of the time, our community is fucking goated as shit.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Some of you fucking outliers there, though.
Sometimes it does.
I love when we
me.
get an outlier and then the rest of the community fucking is like, I think you're in the wrong place, actually. Like, we're pretty positive over here. Don't love that.
Yeah.
So
it does baffle me sometimes what people get upset about. Sean,
peanut allergies.
No, not that one.
No?
That was correct, actually.
That was correct. They were right on that one.
No, if we did the milkshake story where the guy spilt his milkshake, and then Sean offhandedly mentioned the McDonald's girl getting burned, and suing McDonald's for the millions of dollars or whatever. Anyway, this is something we've talked about.
People got mad at me about that?
They thought we were dissing her.
No, I was
we were dissing the guy. It was very clear.
The guy.
Yeah, people were very upset at that. Well, some people were very upset. But we've talked about it on the show.
That was pretty clear. Whatever.
And we realized that she actually did get burned very, very badly and deserved the money. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why you thought we'd side with McDonald's ever. That's crazy.
Especially with Patsy. I feel like I've been pretty on brand not liking Starbucks and McDonald's.
Yeah. So it's stuff like that where I'm like, did that really need to get you that upset? I don't like, I didn't understand that one. That one's just a recent one that's in my mind because I saw someone, I was just like, that's wild. But
yeah.
Okay.
And then again with the peanut out.
I'm just some of y'all need to fucking chill, baby. Like, it's not that serious. All right. All right. Before we go on another rant, last story of the day before we head on over to the amazing Underbakke story. This one is from True Off My Chest. Unfortunately, the user deleted their username, but
Coward.
the title is, what a bitch. I think my husband's mistress thinks he is richer than he actually is. My best friend thinks I am a douche because I am keeping silent.
Well, you don't know the mistress anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What
feel
the fuck?
This is fine. Yeah.
All right. Before we get into the story, I'm gonna put the ages now because otherwise it can get confusing. So, the husband is 39 male, me 39 female, the OP. Mistress is 29, and best friend is also 39 years old. So those are the ages.
Gotcha.
Take it as you see it. We have been together for 14 years, living together for 11. He came and told me that he was in love about 3 weeks ago. And I was surprised at the lack of fucks I had to give at receiving such information. I did love him, but maybe my love has always been conditional and its survival depends on its being reciprocated because it literally vanished the second he confessed to me that he was in love with another woman. Sorry, that was all one sentence.
Yeah,
That is
I was going to
great.
say, I got kind of confused. But yeah, I think I'm with you.
Yeah. She's basically
back on
saying
track.
like, as soon as he told me, I was like, cool, see ya.
I don't care anymore. I never care about
Which
it.
I would say is wild after 14 years, but it sounds like maybe not the greatest relationship potentially. So this is probably a good thing for you.
Yep. He didn't want a separation, but to maybe open the relationship or let his feelings for her subside. I said, it was over. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It was like I never had feelings for him ever. He was taken aback by my indifference, which I thought, the audacity. Did he want me to be hurt and suffer? And I told him that he should be relieved that he didn't cause pain. Instead, he has been sulking since. Last Friday, I got home and mistress was there, sitting in my kitchen, sipping my tea.
What the fuck?
I felt nauseous because, seriously? I told him that this wasn't civil at all and to never be in my home again or I would call the cops. I went to my room and I heard her yelling at him for not standing up for her. Then I heard her saying something very curious. Why haven't you kicked her out yet? He was trying to tell her to lower her voice, whispering, later. We can discuss this later. She left and came to me apologizing. He said, we didn't have sex here if this is what you were scared of. She just dropped by because I was working from home today. And I told him that he had until the end of March to move out and to find somewhere to be during the weekends. This morning, I changed all the locks. From now on, he isn't allowed in my place during my working hours, so if he starts later or finishes earlier, he needs to wait for me to come home and let him in. But his mistress' words stuck with me, so during the weekend, I have been stalking her social media. I think she thinks that he is rich, or at least that he owns my apartment. I think she also thinks that my parents' summer house and boat are his.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, the loser has taken her there, probably bragging about his wealth because her hashtags were all about the good life. I was telling my best friend all of this, but she was more agitated than indignant on my behalf. She told me that he was a scum not telling mistress the truth, and I agreed, I know, right? But then she said I was no better not explaining to her his situation either. I was dumbfounded, but she was serious. And I told her that it wasn't my job to bring back mistress to earth. My best friend got very angry and demanded that I gave her mistress' username so that she could warn her. No, I said. She called me a bigger douche than he is then.
That's wild.
It is.
What the fuck?
I don't know what's going on with these people. Have they gone mad or have I? When did our moral compass go askew like this? Can someone tell me that I am not insane?
No, you're not the asshole.
Yeah.
No.
That's fucking crazy. That's not your friend at all. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be one thing if the mistress had no idea you existed and like came into this. But even then, like, why would you warn her about him not being rich? Like, that's not on you to do anything to that. But like, she's just as guilty by the sounds of it. She knew you existed.
Oh, she knows.
Was cheating or was home wrecking. So she's also guilty. To say you're worse than him though is fucking
wild.
insane, since he's the one that cheated and caused your divorce. So fuck that friend.
Yeah, no, that's fucking out of pocket. I think you, like I said at the very beginning, before we even knew the story, you don't know the mistress shit.
Yeah.
Why would you? If anything, I would want the mistress to have a terrible life. I can't wait. I hope I'm there when she finds out that he's broke. So yeah, I don't know. Scorch earth, right? Like fuck everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of them anymore after this. Cause yeah, you don't. Why would your friend side with the mistress, the person who ended your relationship? Also, in what world are you more of an asshole than
Seriously.
the cheater?
Yeah.
Than the cheater.
Yes.
From the lying. I mean, all cheaters, I guess, are lying to a certain extent.
True.
But yeah, he's lying to the mistress. He cheated on his ex. So yeah, what? All you're doing is not telling the mistress some information. Yeah, your friend sucks ass.
Yeah, she needs to, the husband and the mistress both deserve to, like, you know, oh, well, one, the mistress needs to find out, like, he's a brokey by herself. No warnings or, but like what Josh is saying, she knew. She fucking knew what she was doing in this situation. Yeah. I'd cut off the best friend. It seems like you're out of a shitty partner, and also you're out of a shitty friend. So go live your single life, find a new friend if you want, go find a new lover if you feel like it. Do whatever you need to do. Just cut those people out because they ain't shit.
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like that friend's been a mistress.
Maybe. All right. Moving on to the amazing Underbakke section. And we are going to be doing Does This Guy Fuck? Dent. All right. 2 posts from the amazing Underbakke, both from r/not how girls work.
So probably not.
Of course.
First one, OP is unlucky, lower score bust, lower score 1399. The caption for the story is, women are disgusting pigs and men aren't. How dare you females get offended?
Jesus Christ.
And the title for this story is, why are women's restroom so gross?
What? I've only ever heard the opposite.
I've never been in a woman's restroom, but they seem to be better. I would just assume.
When I worked, I worked a minimum wage job. We had to clean the washrooms. I've been in both. I got to tell you, it's worse in the men's than the women's.
Yeah, I think the whole standing up peeing thing really ruins the place.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I used to, my first ever job was I worked at a Greyhound, like at a bus station. So like I was both like baggage person, also a janitor and all that too. So yeah, when, of course, when I had to clean like the women, and I worked graveyard at the time. So like I had all the freaking station to myself. Every time I would have to clean like the girls' bathroom, it's just like, oh man, this is such fucking easy work, bro. Like everything is like organized. Dude, the men's piss marks everywhere. I'm like, man, I gotta fucking scrub all this shit. This is so the worst thing that I find at like, you know, women's bathrooms sometimes is like abundance of like toilet paper on the seats because I'm like, I mean, understandable. It's filthy.
Yeah.
But the guys, dude, I'm like, y'all can't fucking aim. Come on, bro. It's so easy.
Yeah.
At a urinal, like you have so much surface area that you can fucking aim at. What are you doing? It's always the worst. But anyways, the title of the story is Why Are Women's Restrooms So Gross? One of my first jobs ever 12 years ago was at Target as a janitor, worked multiple different locations. I've also worked at multiple Ralph's, Albertsons, and other less known food stores. One thing I've noticed over and over again, no matter the location, was just how gross women's restrooms compared to the men's. Except when it comes to the employees' restrooms, in which case the women's is slightly cleaner. This has not only been my experience, but I also remember a female coworker at Target complaining about how gross their restrooms are. Edit, this post is not meant to vilify women, just wanted to see if others share the same experience. Seems like some women have gotten really offended. To which they added, anyways, based on the answers provided, it seems to me that part of the problem stems from the frequency women have to use a restroom, coupled with the fact a lot of them squat over a toilet and bring children along with them as well. Although these things definitely contribute to the messiness, it's not sufficient in my opinion to explain it all the way. For example, if shit is ever smeared on the walls, 8 out of 10 is the women's restroom. If I grant that women are shitting 4 times as much as men in public restrooms, it still wouldn't be proportional. It also doesn't explain them throwing their hygiene products in the toilet. I've come to the conclusion that humans in general are a little gross. Women just seem to hide it better, probably due to social expectations, but they're just as gross as men in private, if not more.
Okay. I mean,
like, I don't have this experience. So, I mean, maybe it's where you're from. I don't know.
yeah, like I worked at a campground and I gotta say, I have had to deal with number 2 situations before, always the men's. So I don't know, maybe this whole story is, hey, people are fucking gross.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the hygiene thing, like hygiene projects in the toilet. I would ask if you have like trash bins in the washroom for women, like for that purpose. If not, what else are they supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, so I will give that caveat, but yeah, like other than that, I don't know. I've had my own experiences that have all been, like I said, usually the opposite.
Same.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just where you work, who the people in that area are. I don't know. But I guess we can all agree that all humans can be disgusting at times.
People are gross.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if this is from like the US or anything Western, but man, people need to like take study how like Japan and Korea's like bathroom systems are. Them motherfuckers are always clean, man. It's crazy.
Just as a nation, the entire place is clean. I don't know why that can't be translated.
I hardly see trash on the street. Like, you know, bathrooms are generally clean for the most part. They have sanitizers available for you to clean the toilet before you go. I'm like, why can't this be common everywhere? Bidets everywhere too. I'm like, damn, this needs to be normalized.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Next story is again from Not.
Does that guy fuck?
He's
maybe.
Probably, but
man.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the worst thing we've read on there.
No.
It's definitely not the worst.
But I think, you know,
I can't argue
like
with his
maybe
experience. But
a region specific thing for you, maybe.
it also did seem like he was trying to be sexist. It's just
skewed in his way of thinking a little bit. But
yeah,
maybe
potentially. But also, I can't argue with his experience if that's truly what he's seen. I don't know. I've just seen the opposite. So that's my
TLDR,
experience.
People are gross.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it's one or the other. I think everyone is a bathroom. It's going to get gross, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. Next story. I'm not even going to read this fucking OP's name. It's too much letters. It goes as this. It's been 6 months since I haven't fucked. I'm craving pussy like crazy. And to be honest, I was going to hook up with this fat girl from Reddit, but she kept flaking because she's busy and went out of town. And it's been a massive bummer.
Maybe because you're calling her fat. And she probably feels like you don't really like her.
Also, is that a bot that you're talking to?
I don't know.
Single girls in my area.
Chicken and mirror reference.
But recently, I downloaded Tinder and I managed to match this crazy looking fairy art e-girl who used to have a boyfriend, and I recognized her from a friend. We talked a bit about stupid art shit and boring old European movies, but I managed to spice up the convo, and it turns out she wanted to get, what's CNC'd? I don't know what that means.
Three vanilla dudes here.
Ooh, and get binded up by a belt in the bed, and I would consensually force myself into her. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Now we decided a day to meet up, which is tomorrow. But the catch is we're gonna do it in her apartment. I'm just a bit worried what this bitch can do to me. Like, I don't know. It's my first time going to fuck a visually, mentally deranged woman, and I'm afraid if she's gonna put a hex on me, or some crazy demonic sex, demon magic, roofie me, or do any sketchy out of pocket shit in the long run. So boys, does this guy fuck?
I mean, the proof's in the
No.
pudding. It's been 6 months, so no.
No.
Also, CNC is consensual non-consent.
What'd that mean?
Which
Is
is
that like
like
a role play thing?
not to kink shame, but it's not something that I think would personally
It's just not for us.
is appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't want to talk about it.
skip that. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. This guy sucks the way he talks about women in
For
general,
sure.
which
Don't love
explains why he hasn't slept with anyone in months. I don't
I
know.
do feel like it's a bot, Josh. Like
the Reddit bot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ugh, disgusting.
Ah,
All right. Well, that is it for today's episode. Before we close it off, boys, anything you'd like to say, bring up, Venmos, shout outs, any merch messages you want to read out?
oh yeah, I got a lot of merch messages.
Let's do it.
I'll go through as many as I feel.
Do
we can
it.
get through for today.
Sometimes Sean does 20-minute Venmo
Yeah,
readings, so
I
you're
know.
good. Like,
I don't want
good.
to edit that though. So, Jasmine says, I was so sad that I missed my chance to get this shirt last time. Thank you guys for giving me another chance. P.S. A week is 7 days. And I think that was directed at you, Sean. For
that
putting
was
it,
probably me because I said 5 days.
yeah, putting it up late because they bought
Yeah.
it November 4th when you put it up. It's the
My
Decorum
apologies.
merch. Melissa says, I'm so happy to be able to show off my Roach Queen.
Hell yeah.
Michaela says, y'all are amazing. Thank you for being men that deserve mics. A silent listener for almost a year. Thank you, Michaela.
Thank you. Be louder next time, please.
Kieran says, can't wait to rock all of my new merch. Love y'all.
Is Kieran that one
A
goat?
I think so.
Where you work at?
Could be. Yeah, it could be them. Yeah.
I believe so.
Shout out to Kieran. Shalom says, I could not wait for the November sale to purchase all the Row merch I missed out on. Then I remembered I'm a poor. But they still got some merch. So
Hell yeah.
shout out to you, Shalom.
I'm with you.
Michelle says, love you guys. You are my favorite. Max says, I work from home and I'm generally a homebody. So this podcast is one of the only things that helps me keep track of what day it is. That's hilarious.
Don't rely on us because I don't even remember what days are.
That's hilarious because that's what I do with my podcast. I'm like, oh shit, new podcast. It's a Monday. So thank you for that, Max. Catherine says, love you guys and your wives. They buy some
Thank you.
emo-ween merch. Thomas says, my wife loves your show. She fills me in on the best/worst stories. We have great discussions on who is the asshole in the Am I the Asshole stories. I hope you got your wife some merch. Maybe that's maybe we're spoiling an early Christmas present. So
Yeah, I hope you guys continue to fill each other.
I'll do 3 more. Alicia said, Alicia. That's probably what it is. Says literally the best Reddit podcast ever.
Oh,
Thank you, Alicia. Claire says, excited to finally purchase after years of listening and being a rich. Thank you for your
Ooh.
decision.
using that discount.
Thank you for your decision paralysis with this archive. They buy some of the pet merch.
Nice.
Leonie says, absolutely love you guys. Keep being your awesome selves from your longtime Aussie fan.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
And finally, Rebecca says, love you guys. You've gotten my boyfriend and I through many long road trips. He's going to adore this as a gift. I hope you've given it to him by the time we read this. But I did not read your last name. There's lots of Rebeccas in the world.
Yeah.
So Who knows?
If you're dating a Rebecca, expect some merch.
yes,
And
all
if you're
of you.
Rebecca and you haven't bought your partner some merch, get
What are you
on
doing?
it.
You
They're
are
expecting it.
too
It's-
late.
It's December 2nd. It could still be up.
It
Check.
it will still be up. But yeah, we got a bunch more we'll get through in the next few weeks, reading those merch messages. So appreciate everyone buying the merch. Once again, that's redditonwikishop.com. I honestly don't know what we have on December's
We have not discussed it.
store.
Not yet. Not yet. Sean, anything you want to bring up, buddy?
No, I'll wait till next week for the Venmos.
Sounds good. Well, I do have one review to read. I don't typically bring up stuff, but this was nice. I feel like this needs to be read. This one was sent to us by Ina. So shout out Ina.
Shout out Ina.
And the review goes as this. Hello, everyone and the boys. I have binge watched every episode and can't wait for more. An absolute must watch if you like to see three random dudes read random stories without being sexist or discriminatory. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, you nailed it.
That sounds right.
The guys give their honest opinions and feed on each other's answers to give you their opinions, which they're absolutely not qualified to do.
Thank
Facts.
Fair. Yes.
I'm glad you're aware
Yes.
of the premise.
Some people feel
Take
that
that
we
seriously.
think that we are, but we are definitely not.
Yeah.
In any other capacity than being humans and raised well. A thank you to their parents for raising them right. Wanted to read that because we want to shout out the parents as well. Hi, Tita. Hi, Tito.
Hi, mom and dad.
Love you
You don't
guys.
listen.
Hi, uncle and auntie. My mom's actually here watching Chloe right now. So shout out to my mom. You're going to be watching this
nice.
episode.
Goat.
Oops, sorry, I lost myself a little bit. We also get to meet their wives and other guests, and you get to know them like they're your friends. Shout out to our wives as well.
Yes.
An absolute must watch or listen. They fill my solitude as a housewife with laughter, pique my interest, and give me an out for shaking my head at hopeless humans. If you have ever been stuck behind a car going 40 in a 70 zone, you can throw on some Reddit on Wiki and just know they would share your frustration. They are now my best buds I've never met. Also, there's some Shone/Shane spelled S-H-I-N. You'll love to playfully annoy. Oh, and John, you're a handsome short king. Whenever you sell yourself short again, go look at the babe you won. And you goddamn right, I fucking miss you, baby girl. You be home in like a couple days. It's been 2 weeks. I
Sean,
miss
this is fucked up. He brings up the good-looking
Yeah. The
YouTube
objectification.
partner, and this is what we deal with.
You know, and they said, love from Norway from Ina.
Shout out, Ina.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Ina.
that.
That's it.
Thought Sean was going to say something.
I know, I was waiting
it's
to.
just, I want to also be objectified. What happened to that, guys?
Hey, can y'all shift it to Sean, please? Because I care for your
like
safety,
John being
please.
uncomfortable with it.
No, I'm not uncomfortable for me. As a matter of fact, thank you that the results are showing. I'm scared for your lives. It ain't me that I'm worried about. I'm worried about you.
But appreciate that review. That was awesome.
Thank you. You know, we do appreciate it. But that is it for this episode.
Are we? Nope. Continue.
Mm.
That's it for this episode.
Oh,
Thank
you don't close
guys.
us off, Sean. Go ahead.
Thank you guys so much. We'll be back. Check Reddit on wikishop.com just in case I forgot. We keep hinting at it, so I feel like I have to forget at this point, but I don't know. Maybe I'll be on top of it. Who knows? Anyway, see you Friday. Thank you. Bye.
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 Get therapy.